What's something that you once believed to be essential in your life, but after going without, decided it really wasn't? Tobacco. Every day I would tell myself, this is bad for you, but you can quit any time. It seemed like I was in control when I really wasn't. I saw it as essential without seeing it as essential, if you know what I mean. I believe that is what makes cigarettes so addictive. They make you lie to yourself. Once I stopped, I truly felt like I could live the rest of my life without tobacco. I agree, but this applies to any addiction, TBH. I believed it was essential to be accompanied by people so that I wouldn't feel lonely. However, I've realized that there's a massive difference between being alone and feeling lonely. Sometimes I don't feel lonely despite being alone, and other times I end up feeling lonely even though I have company. Sometimes I don't feel lonely despite being alone, and other times I end up feeling lonely even though I have company. I've always only felt lonely around other people. I used to hold on to every single workbook from my primary and secondary school, bits of cardboard and fabric I could use for the stuff and other stuff like that. After moving out of a house for a year then returning, I realized I'm never actually going to do stuff with them. Living without them for a year helped me see I don't need to hold on to this stuff, which I think saved me from a potential hoarding problem. Subazone, the opioid maintenance medication. It's helpful for many, and I believe it helped me to a certain extent. However, every time I would try to get off of it, I would land right back where I started. After the last time, once I'd picked up using again, I decided to just cold turkey instead of getting back on the medication. Once the withdrawals and mental fog cleared, I rediscovered actual joy. Well done. Not an easy thing to do at all. Probably sounds vain, but things like eyelash extensions or getting my nails done, I really thought I needed those things to feel pretty. That's the power of advertising, baby. It's proven. Women are more likely to get hired for a job by wearing at least some makeup than none at all or too much. Men, we just have to wear a tie, which is a one-time purchase that doesn't require maintenance. New clothes. I used to do the seasonal shop. 1 to 10 new items for every season, all necessities, so 4 times a year. I had over 3 closets worth of clothes, including things I'd had in high school 10 years ago. A year ago, I decided that not buying new clothes would be a good way to reduce my spending. So I started only buying clothes that truly filled the gap or replaced something I'd actually worn out. This means that in a year, I've only bought 1 work dress, 1 pair of leggings, 1 basics shirt, and 1 special event outfit. I started gutting my huge collection of clothes and getting rid of all the items I didn't absolutely love wearing or need for work. It has been freeing, and I would never go back to the seasonal shop life. Going out all the time. Mine was the opposite. I would stay in every evening because to me, it was important to keep the same routine of wake, work, home, sleep. I hated staying out because then I wasn't at home painting or programming. Suddenly I had a mental status shift and realized I hated going home after work. So I made about 15 different friends, barely any knew each other, and would hang out every single night for 3 years before going home to bed. Now I'm at a happy medium. Just kidding, I'm in quarantine. Dessert. I cut back massively on sweets 18 months ago and I've lost 60 to 65 pounds. I didn't really miss sweets after a while. Any tips you have for a newbie trying to give up desserts? Start slow. If you have dessert every night, cut out 1 night and make that the new habit. Then increase it by 1 more. Or start making fruit the dessert some nights. You can make amazing apple sauce just by finely slicing some apples and simmering them in a little water with cinnamon for an hour and then mashing them up. Or have a piece of 80% dark chocolate. Your body agrees that it's getting a piece of chocolate, for the chocolate is so rich that it tends not to ask for much more. I tried cold turkey and it was a really painful experience for me with a really hard backlash. Slowly adjusting my habits over a period of months and even years has been much easier for me. The approval of others. Oh man, this. I had a horrible time through high school with this issue, to the point of half-assed suicide attempts. Jump ahead about 10 years. I'm cleaning out some stuff and come across my high school yearbook. I decided to flip through and look up some of the people I knew and found myself LMAO. All the people in those pictures were just kids. They were no more or less dorky and immature than I was. Why the hell did I spend so much energy giving a damn what they thought of me? Especially since I've never seen any of them ever since. Disposable paper towels. During university, I was too cheap and broke to pay for them, so I went without. Once I got used to using washable cloths to clean up, I didn't even really feel the need for paper towels. Now that I'm out of school and I can afford to buy paper towels, I keep some around. I realize how wasteful they are and I try to use them sparingly. I only use paper towels for cleaning up disgusting things like cat vomit. Cable TV or satellite TV. Agreed. Cut cable years ago. Never missed it. Why would I pay to be advertised to? Bottled water. I live in an area with safe tap water. It doesn't taste great, but gets the job done. When coronavirus hit and there was a crazy rush on bottled water, I couldn't get my hands on any. Turns out, I don't care about bottled water. I'm drinking tap water like a champ now and it's practically free. Sugar in coffee or tea. I freely chose to give it up, and I don't miss it. This is my hurdle. I don't eat sweets, don't drink soda, but I still put too much sugar in my coffee. I need to work on that. Did you wean yourself down or just cut it abruptly? Rigorous skincare routine. But only because no matter what I try, my skin seems to stay the same, which I'm fine with. Same. Used to put on so many different creams and lotions specialized for any small part of my body until one day I went traveling and forgot them at home. After 1 week I realized my skin looked exactly the same, with or without all of this. Now they're just taking up space in my bathroom though, so I started using them again since I bought them, but after that, I'm not going to invest all my money in that S. Nicotine. Haven't smoked since quarantine started. Good job and good luck. Soda. I still drink it, but I drink a lot more water now. I was born with an extra sensitive stomach and sense of smell, and I can't stand soda. It just tastes like if you put maple syrup in water and then made it painful to drink. Alcohol. 16 months sober. Congratulations, man. I've been 15 months sober. It happened unexpectedly, but I realized I needed this for the longest. Never going back to drinking. Facebook. Didn't Facebook just turn into garbage in the early 2010s, which is why everyone ended up leaving? Yeah, around 2014. I rode the whole wave. It was at its peak when it only allowed college students. Even for a while after it opened its doors to everyone, it was still good. You still had a majority of fun stuff your friends posted. Not to sound cliched, but it got ruined once all the boomers and grandparents discovered it. Then that allowed for even more uneducated people of every age to hop on, and it just went downhill from there. That abusive girlfriend that I had in high school. Same here, though I wish I'd found out before she drove away most of my friends. Dude, that sucks. Hope you stay strong with the rest of your friends. Coloring my grey hair. Waste of money and time. I no longer care if it makes me look old. Women spend a lot of money to get that beautiful platinum color that I have naturally. Female here, and I'd totally let my premature grey grow out if I could have that cool streak versus peppered all over. Instagram. Not seeing people desperately trying to get likes and influence that has done wonders my mental health. Hi, I would just like to say at one point I felt the same way. Then I followed a bunch of accounts for my interests, travel, board games, etc. Instagram is like a little zen moment when I poop now. Anyone else unhappy with Instagram should give it a try. Bullying siblings. For years I thought I'd had to keep accommodating them, tying myself into knots to try and get their approval or even just acceptance because they came out of the same uterus as me. It turns out that going no contact at all, calmly and without malice, was easy and oh so peaceful. At first I thought you meant that you'd given up bullying your siblings. Coffee. Thanks to a series of events, I was unable to have my morning cup of joe and had to go without it this month. Thanks, Corona. Thanks to quitting, my acne has cleared up and I feel a little better without the high highs and the low lows. Also, the never-ending chase of the caffeine dragon is a plus. Toxic friends. I had a lot of toxic friends in my early 20s, and in retrospect, it definitely had a negative impact on my life. Decided to go back to college at 25 and just cut off contact with them. My life has dramatically improved by vetting those I let in my inner circle. Makeup. Same here. I only wear makeup for special occasions, and it makes me feel extra pretty for a bit. When I wore makeup every day, I thought I was ugly without it, and I felt dependent on it. I think it's a fun way to dress up now. I might get downvoted, but weed. I wasn't physically addicted, but I smoked every 2 to 3 hours every day for 17 years. It had become a warm coat in a cold world. Having a daughter, I realized I was much like my dad in drinking. I was an irritable arsehole when I wasn't smoking. Would pick fights over stupid stuff and spend most of my time too tired to do much beyond what was required of me. I was constantly broke and borrowing money. It's so nice to be clear-headed with energy. I spend more time with my family and I even sleep better. This is by no means directed at other people. I still love weed, the culture, and my fellow heads. Everyone needs to do what is right for their own lives. Approval or confirmation of others. It took me way too long to realize that I do not need confirmation of others as proof that something is wrong. And the other way around, if they deny it, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Bottled water. I am, and have always been, an avid water drinker. I spent nearly 20 years of my life only drinking bottled water. Now I feel so horrible because of all the pollution. I now have a Brita filter water bottle and will drink from the tap a good bit, except for well water. Yuck! I never understood the need for bottled water except if, you'll be in a physical location without water, or if a hurricane is coming or something similar. Makeup. Spent a month in Panama where I'm too hot and sweaty all the time to wear any, and it's just made me realize that I'm actually happy with my face as it is. I'm an SFL, and I'm with you. A good moisturizer and sunblock is all I need. Labels. I spent about 25 years thinking that I needed to clearly define myself by labels in order to fit in or gain respect. Ultimately, I found that none of the many, many labels on places like Tumblr applied to me with the precision I wanted. This struggle with my identity bothered me badly for a very long time. I finally realized that even if I did manage to encapsulate the whole of my being into one line of text, what do I do with that information? The only result I can see now would be that I'd just limit my behavior and preferences to continue adhering to those labels, and I'd be afraid to allow change into my life. And also, no one cares. My value to a person or group is based on my skills in the context of that group, not on some overcomplicated identity resume. I'd still call myself by certain approximate labels when necessary to add context to a comment, but I don't make them a priority in my life anymore. It's actually quite enjoyable to just be a nebulous entity. I don't have to behave based on some set of rules that I picked out.